Happy Sunday and welcome back to Mercy Health Stadium in Avon, Ohio, as you're tuning in to the Evansville Otters pregame show on the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live. Well, following a magical night in Avon last night as the Otters rallied from behind 6 heading into the ninth with 1 out to score 9 runs and end up taking Game 2 of this 3-game weekend set by a 13-10 final in one of the greatest comebacks, if not the greatest comeback in Evansville Otters history. Let's see if the Otters on a Sunday day game from the southern banks of Lake Erie can match last night's magic with, as they hope, a 3-game sweep of the Lake Erie Crushers here in Avon, Ohio. My name is Ryan Brown. Thank you so much for joining me as the Evansville Otters sport the best record in the Frontier League, entering today's matchup with the 41-23 record, which is, as mentioned already, the best so far in the Frontier League entering today's action. They have a 3-game lead on the Florence Yawls in the Frontier League's West Division, and they are going for the 3-game sweep of the Lake Erie Crushers to conclude their 6-game road trip. The Otters last night rallied back from a 6-run deficit heading into the 9th inning last night, scoring 9 runs on 9 hits with 2 outs remaining in the inning. The win pushed the Otters to 18 games over 500 for the first time this season, extending their lead over the Florence Yawls in the Frontier League West to 3 games. The season series right now between these two clubs, between the Otters and the Crushers, it stands at 5-0 after the Otters had swept the Lake Erie club at home June 2nd and June 3rd. The Otters, in this one, they will turn to rookie right-hander Ryan O'Reilly, who toes the rubber for the Otters in the potential sweeper. O'Reilly, he enters with a 3-1 record and a 192 earned run average after hurling 6 2/3 against the Southern Illinois Miners last Sunday, August 1st, a week ago today. In the outing, O'Reilly allowed just 1 unearned run on 4 hits and 6 walks. With 5 RBIs Saturday, Riley Crane leads the Otters offense as he moved within 3 ribeyes of first place in the Frontier League's most productive hitter stakes, increasing his tally on the season to 55 runs driven in. You're listening to the Evansville Otters pregame show, in which we'll go over the lineups ahead of today's action and, was mentioned earlier, the potential sweeper, as well as a recap of last night's affair and a brief pregame interview with Otters skipper Andy McCauley, getting to go over last night's magical ball game, as well as get to go over the first 2/3 of the season. As with 32 games left, the Otters have played 64, sporting the 41-23 record, going up against the 30-34 Lake Erie Crushers. For the Otters, they turn to a lineup that looks like this. Gary Mattis leads things off, playing over at second base, and in center field, batting second, it's Elijah McNamee. J.R. Davis will DH, batting in the 3 spot, to be followed by the Otters' left-handed hitting first baseman Riley Crane. Andredi Cordero will play over at the hot corner. He bats 5th, and Jose Pujols gets the start in right field, batting 6th. The Otters will turn to their left-handed catcher, Michael Gangwish, to kick off the latter third of the lineup. Christopher Pujols will play over at short for the first time this season, and Andrew Penner out in left rounds out the order. Mentioned earlier, Ryan O'Reilly gets the start on the hill. He will be making his 7th start of the season and his 8th appearance overall. For the Lake Erie Crushers, they will have the former big leaguer Ryan Fierraven, the left-handed knuckleballer, will be pitching for them, and he hopes his lineup that consists of the following can give him a lead early. Sean Dunston Jr., the left-handed hitting center fielder, will be followed by the left-handed hitting left fielder Connor Oliver. Trevor Achenbaugh will bat 3rd and plays over at second base. Isaac Bernard, left-handed hitting DH, cleans things up, to be followed by the left-handed hitting right fielder Brody Wooford. Brian De La Rosa will catch and hit 6th, to be followed by Steve Passatempo, Zach Gray, and Eric Callahan. Right-handed hitting third baseman, first baseman, and shortstop. 7, 8, 9, the only lefty hitter in that latter third being Zach Gray, the first baseman. That's the lineup for the Crushers. Well, last night it was something short of impossible. Improbable, without question, as the Otters rallied from down 6 to score 9 in the top of the 9th inning and came back to win it by a 13-10 final. We'll go to a highlight recap of that 9th inning. trying to relive the unbelievable antics of the Evansville Otters in that 9-run ninth as they managed to win it by a 13-10 final, setting up a potential sweeper this afternoon in Avon, Ohio. You're listening to the Evansville Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live. Plastic up behind the Otters home dugout. Base hit back up the middle. That will score 2. This gets on. Here's the 2-1. Ground ball, hard hit through the left side of the infield. This will make it a 2-run game. J.R. Davis. First pitch to Riley Crane. And he hits this well out toward left. Falling. Is it going to fall? Get down! It's down in fair ground. Riley Crane, an RBI double, puts the tying run at third with only 1 out. This is unbelievable. 1 out in the top of the ninth. Comes the 1-2 once more. And it's a ground ball. The throw home is... He's safe! He's safe! J.R. Davis slides underneath the tag. And the Otters have completed a 6-run comeback to tie it in the top of the ninth. I cannot believe it. Rain still falling. Here's the 0-2. And it's hit out toward left. Heading toward the line. It's down. The Otters are going to take the lead on a ground rule double into the left field corner for Dakota Phillips. They now lead it 11-10. 1-0. And it's hit well out toward right center field. Dunston Jr. going back, reaching up, and he can't make the catch. It bounces over the wall. Gary Mattis, you mad dog, you. It's a 13-10 ball game in the top of the ninth. Otters with the lead still. This is outrageous. Out of the stretch, the 1-1. Ground ball to first. Riley Crane takes it to the bag, and there's your comeback. That one went swimmingly. A 13-10 come from behind victory as the Otters scored 9 in the ninth, and these guys are unbelievable. That's your first place club in the West Division and the Frontier League. Overall, they were down 6 heading into the ninth, and they scored 9 runs on 9 hits to stun the Lake Erie Crushers on a Saturday night in Avon, Ohio. There you have it, the greatest 9th inning comeback in Otters history, dating back to 1995, as the preliminary research suggests. And until we have other reason to believe, we'll call it just that on an unbelievable night in Avon, Ohio, as the Otters scored 9 runs in the top of the 9th inning to win it 13-10, erasing a 6-run deficit and turning it into a 3-run lead. We got to talk with Otters skipper Andy McCauley on the Evansville Otters pregame show, talking about the heroics of last night and, as that game happened to be, the 2/3 mark of the 2021 Frontier League regular season. Asked him about his ball club overall and how impressed he has been with the Evansville Otters, who are 18 games over 500, sporting the best record in the Frontier League to this point, and 3 games up on the Florence Yalls in first place of the Frontier League's West Division. Without any further ado, here is our conversation with Andy McCauley on the Otters pregame show on the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live. Welcome back to the Evansville Otters pregame show. Getting the chance to sit down now and talk things over after last night's incredible victory with Otters skipper Andy McCauley. Andy, first got to ask, have you ever seen anything like that before, that 9th inning rally?
Well, nothing with that extent. Like I mentioned earlier, unfortunately, I was on the receiving end of that in a championship game in 2004. We were up 6-3 in the 9th and ended up losing championship game. But, it was something to see last night. And I'll tell you, it wasn't errors or them walking or kicking the ball around. It was just some really, really locked-in at-bats from guys that refused to lose. So, yeah, it was something to see. It was exciting. And, 1 through 9, I mean, the whole lineup chipped in, and it was something to see. They were committed to getting back in that game.
9 hits, 10 batters get on base in that 9-run 9th inning to overcome the 6-run deficit. You talked about guys coming up to the plate and grinding and battling. How impressed were you after last night's game, seeing those at-bats and the fighting spirit from your club?
Well, that's something I mentioned, when we all got on the bus, we were all together after that one. I mean, that's what this team is capable of doing. And, we got to, moving down the line and getting towards the end of the year and, grinding out, pushing for a playoff berth, that's what we're capable of doing. It's, obviously it's not something you want to do or, you can do every night. But, just seeing that what we are capable of in the right situations. And it's good to see. So hopefully, it's something to remember when we are down at moving forward to be able to come back, and that's something we haven't done a whole lot of this year. So it was good to see, especially that deficit against a closer too, which is one of the better closers in the league, in Perez. So all good things on that front. Sometimes wins can carry on with you, and you want to kind of draw back on that in future games. But if you remember the wins and learn from your losses, you're going to be all right.
One thing I wanted to touch on was the fact that you're now carrying a club officially through 2/3 of the season. That is 18 games over 500 for the first time this season. It has to mean something a little bit differently to have a really good ball club pull off that kind of a feat as opposed to one that might be 10 games underwater. So in that idea, that mindset of trying to carry things forward, you've got this last third of the season coming up. What has your team showed to you through up until this point in the season that has maybe even surprised you, surpassed expectations? Overall, what are your thoughts going into this part of the season?
Two things jump out. I mean, first of all, it's a great bunch of guys. They get along well together. They like playing with each other and in the clubhouse together. Pretty tight-knit group. And then that goes a long way in a clubhouse, and that carries out onto the field. And then secondly, is just the work ethic of these guys. Numerous times we've opted for having days off of BP or no early work, and even on off days, I go in on Monday and try and catch up on my paperwork and make my phone calls. And I'll see 20 of the 24 guys wandering through the clubhouse at different times or another. So they like to work. They like being in the clubhouse. Obviously, they like working at Bossy, and it's Mr. Bussing's commitment and everything. The front office has done has made it a great place to play, and we're reaping the benefits of all that.
When you look at a club that's able to put in that kind of hard work, is that something where, taking it all the way back to spring training, when you bring these guys into the clubhouse, is that a must to make sure that they are going to be going after it through all 9 innings like we saw last night?
My coaching staff does a fantastic job of preparing and evaluating. And one of the things we evaluate very early on in spring training is character. And the seasons are long, but they go fast. It's too long to be around guys that you don't like coming to the clubhouse and saying hi and seeing how their off day was or how their family's doing and meeting their parents. So that's something we evaluate very early, and even starts our first conversations with players, new players coming to the mix in Evansville. So and that goes a long way. Clubhouse is a big part of how I like to manage and how I like to select the players that I have playing for me. So, but 1 through 24, 25, 26, 27 on the DL. There's not 2 guys out there that don't get along. So it's a good bunch. And last night just seals the deal a little bit, makes us even tighter. So it was a good win. And like I said, a lot of times those comebacks are errors or walks or hit batters or things, and it wasn't. It was just quality at bat after quality at bat, and Bob does a good job preparing them, and that's what we saw. A little bit of benefit from Bob's hard work.
Phenomenal win last night. Good luck tonight, Andy, and the rest of the way.
All right, thank you, Ryan. Good talking to you.
Special thank you to Otters manager Andy McCauley for sitting down and talking with us on the Evansville Otters pregame show after last night's incredible victory. 13-10 was the final with the 9-run rally in the ninth. And the Otters will look to keep that momentum going. An electrified clubhouse they hope to turn into an electric dugout as well. Gary Mattis will be leading things off against the former major leaguer Ryan Fearabend, the left-handed knuckleballer on the hill for the Lake Erie Crushers. Game 3 of this 3-game weekend set. Sunday afternoon baseball coming to you from the southern shores of Lake Erie. Gary Mattis to be followed by Elijah McNamee and J.R. Davis. A little bit behind from the start time, but no worries. Here comes the first pitch. There's a fastball from Fearabend, 88 miles per hour. Outside part of a plate Call the strike. 2:08 first pitch, Eastern Standard Time, 1:08 Central. Behind the 0-1 fastball is Mattis on the swing. Now 0-2 the count. 81 degrees and mostly sunny. Fierabend out in front early. 0-2, Mattis able to fight it back. Fierabend, the former Seattle Mariner, Texas Ranger, and as recently as 2019, Toronto Blue Jay, going up against Gary Mattis, playing in just his 11th professional game. 0-2 is lifted. Now toward right center field. Sean Dunston Jr. over to his left, two-handed. He makes the catch for the first out of the ball game. Sean Dunston Jr. making the catch. He captains the outfield in center. To his right is the left fielder Connor Oliver, and in left it's Brody Wooford. Around the horn, Steve Passatempo is at third, Eric Callahan at short, Trevor Achenbad second, and Zach Gray gets the start at first. Brian De La Rosa catches Brian Fierabend, and right behind De La Rosa is home plate umpire Todd Odell. Nicholas Saxton, the crew chief at first, and over at third, Sal Giacomo-Antonio. That rounds out the umpiring crew. Elijah McNamee stands in. He's behind an 85-mile-per-hour fastball, 0-1. Elijah McNamee standing in 3 for 8 in the series. A double, a walk, and a hit by pitch. Here's the 0-1. That looked like the knuckleballer, called a strike on the inside part of the plate, 0-2. Ryan Fierabend, he comes in with the 5-3 record, 382 his earned run average, making his 13th start of the regular season. Ahead of his second batter, 0-2, and McNamee able to foul it back. Ryan Brown with you on the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live. Otters looking for the sweep and to secure a winning road trip that spanned Lakes Michigan and Lake Erie. 0-2. Misses low and in, 87 on the gun. At the ballpark here as the wind blows out toward left field, somewhat stiffly. It's what they call Super Bowl Sunday. Plenty of fans in football jerseys. 1-2 misses upstairs. I wonder if there's a penalty if they're not wearing Cleveland Browns gear. After jumping out in front of McNamee, 0-2, Fierabend, he now works with an even count, 2-2. The knuckleball gets the best of McNamee, who goes nearly down to a knee swinging through it. Tough pitch for Fierabend's first strikeout and his second out at the top of the first. J.R. Davis had his first hit of the series in the top of the ninth last night, and it was a big one. It brought the Otters within 2. A 2-run hard-hit ground ball through the left side of the infield that made it a 10-8 ball game. Here's the wind, the first pitch. Fastball inside part of the plate, 0-1. J.R. Davis overall, he's 1 for 6. 2 ribbies, but he's been on base 4 times in addition to that base hit. Each time on a free pass. Here's the 0-1. Oh, mean knuckler. Over top of it is J.R. Davis. Otters managed to chase Tyson Cronin from the ball game last night through the first 6 batters. Ryan Fierabend looking like stiffer competition. With 2 out, time is called at the plate. Fierabend ahead of his 3rd consecutive batter, 0-2 to start the ball game. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. And rearing back there, firing 92, J.R. Davis able to hang with it and foul it away to the right side. Otters trying to get a little action going in the top of the first. Here's the 0-2. Knuckleball bounces in the turf. If it's high, let it fly. If it's low, let it go. That's what J.R. Davis did. Fierabend making his second start against the Otters this season. His first came back in early June. 1-2. That likewise misses low. Hard to tell necessarily from our angle, but I would say from the lack of spin, he might have gone back-to-back with the knuckleball. Lefty on right matchup. 2-2. Wave and a miss. Pitch in the turf. Brian De La Rosa back to retrieve the baseball, and he throws on to first to complete the strikeout. Back-to-back Ks for Ryan Fierabend. Have him 1-2-3 through the top of the first. Evansville nothing. Lake Erie Crushers coming to bat. You're listening to the Evansville Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live from Avon, Ohio and Mercy Health Stadium.
CenterPoint Energy's newest generation of safe, efficient energy includes capturing and harnessing the natural power of pure sunshine. We are increasing solar in our balanced and reliable energy mix as we power our region with more clean, renewable energy. We're bringing a little piece of the sun to every home and business while reducing carbon emissions and helping create a cleaner environment. It's just a little something for your smart energy future.
Getting ready and keeping fit for baseball season is hard work. That's why you'll find Evan at Bob's Gym. Getting fit, having fun, being an Otter. Be like Evan. Try a free 3-day pass at Bob's.
We love our children and want them to be healthy. After all, a healthy child can make for a happy child. When you choose Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield, you have great doctors and great care to help your child stay healthy. And that is something to smile about. Choose Anthem to help keep your children healthy and happy. Enroll today. Call 1-800-403-0864. To learn more, visit www.anthem.com/inmedicaid.
Bottom of the first from Avon, Ohio, Mercy Health Stadium. Evansville Otters, Lake Erie Crushers. Final game of this 3-game set over the weekend with some Sunday afternoon baseball. Ryan O'Reilly, the rookie right-hander, toes the rubber. With a 3-1 record, 193 is earned run average, making his 7th start of the season. Set to work against Sean Dunston Jr., Connor Oliver, and Trevor Achenbaugh. Here comes the first pitch. There's a strike at 89 on the fastball. 0-1 now, the count on Sean Dunston Jr. The wind, the 0-1. Goes with the change and has Dunston Jr. well out in front. Ryan O'Reilly trying to match the former big leaguer, Ryan Fierabend, who worked through the Otters 1-2-3 in the top of the first. Here comes the 0-2. Breaking ball, skips in front of home plate. Blocked by Michael Gangwish, his battery mate. Pitcher-catcher battery brought to you by The Answer Auto Repair East. The line to the belt, the 1-2. And they're going to call it a swing and a miss for Sean Dunston Jr. on the breaking ball that popped out of the glove of Michael Gangwish. And quickly, one down in the bottom of the first on a strikeout. Ryan O'Reilly didn't need his defense for that one. The defensive alignment that consists of Andrew Penner in left, Elijah McNamee in center, and Jose Pujols in right. At the hot corner, it's Andretti Cordero. Christopher Pujols gets the start at short, Gary Mattis at second, and Riley Crane at first. Michael Gangwish catches. First pitch, fouling off the breaking ball, is Connor Oliver. Oliver, the left-handed hitting left fielder. 2-4-7 in the series to this point. O'Reilly making his first start of the season against the Lake Erie Crushers. Here comes the 0-1. Nice change up there. Able to get Oliver to swing through it. 0-2. Otters, they're looking for the sweep thanks to that phenomenal comeback a night ago. 0-2 breaking ball. Slow roller to second. Gary Mattis. Little jump toss and a nice pick by Riley Crane over at first. I know a good friend of mine who'd be calling him the Hoover vacuum cleaner about now. 4-3 ground ball gets Connor Oliver. 2 up, 2 down in the bottom of the first inning. Ryan Brown with you on the Otters Digital Network. YouTube Live. Otters sporting the best record in the Frontier League entering play. First pitch to Trevor Achenbach. He's behind 91. 0-1. Achenbach, he was in the on-deck circle for the Connor Oliver AB. Wasn't able to time up a fastball as all Oliver stuff. All he saw was off-speed work as the 0-1 misses high. 91 miles per hour, the fastball from O'Reilly. Achenbach, he's 3 for 9 in the series. He's homered, doubled, and had 4 ribbies. 1-1. Bender misses low. All 4 of those RBIs and those 2 extra base hits coming last night. Achenbach had extended the Crushers' lead to 6 in the bottom of the 6th with a solo home run. 2-1. Little cue shot. Andretti Cordero will have no play as the slow roller up the third base line went only about halfway. Cordero is playing back, and it's an infield single for Trevor Achenbach, our first hit of the day. O'Reilly allowed just 4 hits through 6 2/3 innings of work against the Southern Illinois Miners last Sunday. In a winning decision, the Otters won 8-1. Only 1 run against him. It was not charged as earned. First pitch, 89-mile-per-hour fastball to Isaac Bernard. Inner third for a strike, 0-1. Bernard, the left-handed hitting designated hitter, going up against Ryan O'Reilly. Here comes the 0-1. Breaking ball, misses low. O'Reilly has looks to be a curveball, slider, change, and fastball mix working early in this one. Throw over to first, and it's low in the turf. Crane not a clean pick at first, but able to do his job by getting the leather in front of it as he retrieves the baseball behind first. Trevor Achenbach back safely. Bottom of the first inning, no score. 2 out, the 1-1. Might have held on to a changeup too long or tried to overspin the breaking ball as it bounces in front of home. Now 2-1 the count on Isaac Bernard, the former 23rd round pick of the Tampa Bay Rays back in 2016. Here comes the 2-1. Fastball up and away. O'Reilly, he made 2 starts last week, throwing the Tuesday opener against the Florence Yawls in what was a 7-game undefeated homestand for the Otters. 3-1, didn't want to offer at the fastball, but he went around. So says home plate umpire Todd Odell. O'Reilly got to work with Gangwish. In that Tuesday game against the Alls, 3-2. The runner goes with 2 out, and the payoff pitch is fouled to the left, out of play. Otters, they're 18 games over 500 for the first time this season. Should the season end today, or they just happen to go 500 through their last 32 games of the season, that would be matching as the 3-2 change is cut on and missed for strike 3. The great division-winning record of 2019. We head to the bottom. No, we don't. We head to the top of the second in a scoreless game. Ryan O'Reilly picks up a couple of Ks and works around a 2-out dribbler for a base hit. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network. Zip Zips our score on YouTube Live.
Before you danced the first dance. Before you walked down the aisle. Before the tables were set with care. Before you penned a single invitation. Before the day that went beyond your wildest expectations. There was the little green box from Brinker's Jewelers for befores and happily ever afters.
Fix up your home with Heritage. Our home improvement financing options can help you change your home now and pay for it over time. Upgrade your home. Make home repairs. Remodel a kitchen. Build a new deck. Add a new room. Remodel your bath. Update appliances. Whether it's a small weekend project or a large renovation, Heritage Federal Credit Union can help you finance your improvements today. Fix up your home with Heritage.
First pitch in the top of the second inning. 0-0 ball game to Riley Crane as a called strike. Low and away. Riley Crane delivered 5 ribbies in the ball game yesterday. He enters in second place in the Frontier League in terms of runs driven in. Looked like a knuckler from Ryan Fearabend, who worked through the Otters 1-2-3. It misses outside 1-1. A grand slam in the first inning for Riley Crane got the Otters off to a 4-0 start as the 1-1 is fought off. Little looping pop-up out toward the third baseman, Steve Passatempo. He makes the catch for the first out. And the Otters, they saw that lead slip away in heartbreaking fashion early on, as the Crushers scored 2 in the bottom of the first to prove that they were still in it. And then, with a 6-run second, which matched a club high for Otters opponents this year, they managed to take an 8-4 lead, so they had flipped the script in 2 innings. Here comes the first pitch to Andredi Cordero. Fastball fouled out toward the main concourse behind the Otters dugout. That sits first base side. The Otters had a 4-run lead in the top of the first, and they exited the second inning down by 4. Here comes the 0-1. That misses below the knees, 1-1. Jacob Bowles would have to work his way out of the inning. All 7 runs, I should say 7 of the 8 runs charged to Marty Anderson, as the 1-1 is cut on and missed off speed from Fearabend. Cordero out in front. And Jacob Bowles would really turn in some yeoman work, throwing 5 innings as the 1-2 fastball gets blown by Cordero at 89. Third strikeout for Fearabend. He had to get all 3 outs of the second. And Bowles worked through the 7th, allowing just 3 runs against him. All of his other outings in the season had been only for an inning. So Bowles came up big out of the Otters bullpen. Abraham Almonte, 2 innings of work, in which he gave up just 2 hits, no runs, 4 strikeouts. First pitch to Jose Pujols is fouled back. And thanks to the bullpen keeping it close, the Otters proved that they had a fighting chance as the 0-1 is fouled to the netting. 0-2. Completing one of the most thrilling upsets in franchise history. Facing Pujols, 0-2. Lifts it back into the right. Pujols entering play 2 for his first 31 as an Otter. Picked up a base hit in his last action Thursday against the Thunderbolts. 0-2, knuckleball. Well done by Pujols to hang with it. Fouling it away. Pujols in the starting lineup with his brother Christopher for the second time this season. They first did it back on July 28th. Here's the 0-2. Fastball high, good take from Jose Pujols. 1-2. Otters, by the way, with a sweep this afternoon. Very early to think about it, but just so it's on your radar, would have swept 3 of their last 4 series. 1-2. Knuckleball cut on and missed for the strikeout. Pujols goes away via the punch-out. 4 Ks for Firabend through 2. Bottom of the second on its way. Still in a scoreless ball game. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live.
If you're looking for a liquor store in Evansville, look no further than Liquor Locker. The Liquor Locker has the best selection at the best prices, including the largest craft beer and bourbon selection in the area. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will help you find the beer, wine, and liquor you need for any occasion. And check out the fine selection of cigars at all Liquor Locker stores. Liquor Locker is now open Sundays 12 to 8 p.m. and offers citywide delivery. Visit one of our 10 conveniently located stores.
3-1 pitch to Brody Wooford is lifted out toward the line and left. Andrew Penner coming over. Has it easily enough for the first out of the bottom of the second inning. Otters, Crushers, playing in a scoreless ball game in the bottom of the second inning. Otters have gone up, 6 down, and the only blemish to Ryan O'Reilly in the bottom of the first, as the first offering to Brian De La Rosa. This is upstairs 1-0. Was a slow roller. Cue shot from Trevor Achenbaugh. Halfway up the third base line. Here's the 1-0. There's a slider for a strike on the outside part of the plate. 1-1. And the 1-1 is singled into center field. Off-speed pitch. Brian De La Rosa takes back up the middle. 1 aboard, 1 out. Steve Passatempo now stands in. Runner at first, 1 away. Passatempo, he's 2 for 8 in the series, facing Ryan O'Reilly. First pitch, breaking ball, well placed, called a strike. 0-1. Wind blowing strong out toward left. O'Reilly set at the belt, the 0-1. Back to the breaking ball. It misses in. 1 ball, 1 strike count now on Passatempo. And the 1-1 is lifted. Shallow center, Elijah McNamee. He comes in to make the catch on a very high hit. Fly ball from Steve Passatempo. A couple of fly balls, couple of outs, 1 base hit. Zach Gray stands in. Left-handed hitting first baseman. Seeing his first action of the series. Gray comes into his 45th game this season with a batting average at 172. First pitch, off speed, misses below the knees, 1-0. That's 20 for 116, 2 home runs to his credit, 115 ribbies. Fastball misses up and away. Zach Gray standing at the plate. 6'3", 215 pounds, going up against O'Reilly. And this is a high, shallow pop. Left field line area. Christopher Pujols going back. He's not able to make the play. And Andrew Penner, the ball gets by him as the backup. This will lead to a run. And oh, goodness. That is an ugly way to have the first run of the ball game score. They will gift Zach Gray with an RBI double as De La Rosa scores all the way from first with 2 out. Plenty of sun today. Possible Andrew Penner lost it there. Here comes the first pitch to Eric Callahan. 1-0, misses low and away. Here comes the 2-0. That misses just below the knees, and things going somewhat poor to poor. Would like to get Callahan here, so you can begin the 3rd inning with the top of the order. Here's the 3-0. And that misses inside. It's a 4-pitch walk to Eric Callahan. Runners at first and second for Sean Dunston Jr. with 2 out. Here comes the first offering to him. Starts him with a changeup. Foul tipped into the catcher Ganguish's mitt. 0-1. 0-1, wave and a miss. Back-to-back off-speed offerings from Ryan O'Reilly. Have him ahead in the count, 0-2. Gray off second, Callahan off of first. Oh, 2. Ground ball hit toward Gary Mattis at second. He'll go the short way to Pujols to get out of the inning. 1 run on 2 hits and a walk. 2 men left on. Here comes the 2-1. Fastball taken well out toward left, but approaching the track and with a read, Connor Oliver makes the catch. Hardest hit ball for the Otters of the day goes for an out. Ganguish got himself a 2-1 count and put a good swing on a ball. That's sometimes all the best you can do, and if you keep doing it, chances are you will be rewarded. Here is Christopher Pujols, making his 5th start since coming back from injury. First pitch, off speed, swings over the top of it, 0-1. Otters still searching for their first base runner. Here comes the wind, the 0-1. Fastball fouled away at the plate and off the catcher, Brian De La Rosa. Home plate umpire Todd Odell will walk a baseball out toward Ryan Fearabend. Fearabend, you can tell, by the way, certainly a professional disposition. Group of young fans behind the home plate dugout. That Fearabend, following the second inning, made sure to acknowledge and tip his cap. And even go so far as to wave at them as he came off the hill. The 0-2. Fastball misses high. Crushers scoring their run on a shallow fly ball to left that fell between Andrew Penner and Christopher Pujols. 1-2 is a called third strike. Already the 5th strikeout for Ryan Fearabend, as Andrew Penner will now stroll to the plate with 2 out at the top of the 3rd inning. First pitch from Fearabend to Penner. Fastball misses in, stands up the Otters left fielder a tad. Now the wind, the 1-0. Knuckler in there for a strike. 1-1 now. Andrew Penner 2 for 6 in the series. Got the scoring started in the Otters' 9th, and here's a little rope out toward left. Problem is it hangs up for Connor Oliver. Well struck. 2 fly balls to left, and a strikeout looking, but Ryan Fearabend. 9 up, 9 down for him. We're through 2.5. Crushers up 1-0. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live.
If you're looking for a liquor store in Evansville, look no further than Liquor Locker. The Liquor Locker has the best selection at the best prices, including the largest craft beer and bourbon selection in the area. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will help you find the beer, wine, and liquor you need for any occasion. And check out the fine selection of cigars at all Liquor Locker stores. Liquor Locker is now open Sundays 12 to 8 p.m. and offers citywide delivery. Visit one of our 10 conveniently located stores in the Evansville area today. There is always something for everyone at the Liquor Locker.
Every 6 minutes, a utility line is damaged due to reckless digging. So Indiana relies on these 811 superheroes. Derek the Builder.
I dig for a living, but I always contact 811.
Mary the Gardener.
Before I plant a tree, I contact 811.
And Mike the...
Welcome back. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network again, fighting through some connectivity issues. We're now on a hunt to figure out whether or not that LAN cable works. Alex Coyle of Florence Yalls was here a couple of weeks ago. I guess it's an Ethernet cable, right, as opposed to a LAN cable. Well, the Otters are batting now. It's a 1-0 game. We'll do the play-by-play for Gary Mattis. The first pitch misses low. One-0. Popped up, foul. Out onto the main concourse, back into the right. I think we're going to keep cutting in and out, unfortunately, because all we have is the spotty Wi-Fi. Problem was the personal hotspot cut out. You know, it's on like a limit as the 1-1 is cut on and missed. Yeah, keeps coming in and out. Oh, that's a bummer. Here comes the 1-2 to Mattis. This is above the letters. The Otters, by the way, they're still looking for their first base runner of the afternoon. 2-2. Wave and a miss. Knuckleball. Gets Mattis. One down on the top of the fourth inning. 6 Ks for Firabend. Oh, la-ti-da. What to do, what to do. First pitch to McNamee. 87. Swing and a miss. Do you think the Florence Yalls are playing a game right now? Might just call them. Here's the 0-1. Up and away. Let's take a look at our league scoreboard. On point streak. The Florence Yalls are playing the Grizzlies. And here is a fly ball to right. Coming in, Brody Wooford, he makes the catch. Now there are 2 down. Nothing. There's nothing. This is incredible. First pitch misses low. One-0 knuckleball has Davis going down to a knee. 1-1. Lake Erie up a run. Maybe we'll get enough here to carry it a little bit. 2-2. pop out toward the Otters dugout out of play. This might work. Kinda, sorta. Bummer. Looks like we're flying without any Wi-Fi. Here's the wind, the 2-2. Ground ball to short, charging in. Callahan, the throw to first, is in time to get Davis. 6-3 ground ball. Otters now 12 up, 12 down. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live. Otters down a run. Top of the 8th inning, they face Eric Glickstein. First pitch to Riley Crane, misses below the knees, 1-0. Otters were one hit by Ryan Fierabend through 7 innings. See if the Otters cleanup man, Riley Crane, who has tallied their only hit, can fix things. Ground ball. Deep to second. Goes over to first. Will complete the ground ball. Glickstein. One pitch, one away. Glickstein, he last faced the Otters 2 nights ago? 2 nights ago. Yes, sir. And it was against Glickstein that the Otters managed to score the go-ahead run in that one. Here's Andredi Cordero. First pitch is hit well out toward the corner in Rice. Slice, keep slicing. Able to make the play is Brody Wooford. Able to range over. Andredi Cordero looks a little demoralized around first, as in, what else am I supposed to do? Jose Pujols is 0 for 2. First pitch to Jose Pujols. Well behind the first pitch fastball from Glickstein, 0-1. Aaron Glickstein, by the way, 3-4 his record, 487 the earned run average, making his 20th appearance of the season. 0-1. Behind 89 miles per hour is Pujols, fouling it back, 0-2. Battling through some internet connectivity issues. I think we spent the last 4 innings trying to get it to work. Right now, hoping that this makeshift connection might hold us for a little bit. With 2 out, the 0-2. Bounces in the turf. Otters down only a run. You don't want to try and exhaust the magic that they needed last night. The 1-2 misses below the knees. 2-2 now. They hope to tie it up. At least heading into the 8th, they'll need a 2-out base runner to do that. 2-2. Low and away. Nice work from Jose Pujols to lay off that one and works the count full. Three-two. Behind the fastball, swing and a miss. 1-2-3 go the Otters in the top of the 8th inning. Bottom half on its way. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network. They're down a run, 1-0. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live.
We love our children and want them to be healthy. After all, a healthy child can make for a happy child. When you choose Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield, you have great doctors and great care to help your child stay healthy. And that is something to smile about. Choose Anthem to help keep your children healthy and happy. Enroll today. Call 1-800-403-0864. To learn more, visit www.anthem.com/inmedicaid.
Sean Dunston Jr. leads off the bottom of the 8th inning for the Lake Erie Crushers. They're up a run. Ryan O'Reilly was brilliant through 7, limiting the Crushers to just 6 hits and only 1 run. That run charged against him as earned, but in all fairness, the result of some questionable defense. Now it's Tyler Spring. Out of the bottom of the 8th, he faces Sean Dunston Jr., Connor Oliver, and Trevor Achenbaugh. First pitch is bunted hard up the line, barehanded by Cordero. Throw to first, not in time to get the speedy Dunston Jr. Ryan Brown with you on the Otters Digital Network. Apologize for the technical difficulties that have kept us off the air to this point. First, the hot spot went. Then we kept cutting in and out with the press box Wi-Fi. And we turned to that because the LAN cable didn't work. Then tried to battle the LAN cable for a while. We're back on the Wi-Fi, so let's see how long this will hold us. First pitch is a called strike on Connor Oliver. 0-1. O'Reilly retired 10 of his last 11. 0-1, popped high. Michael Gangwish throws off the helmet, and he will give way to Andretti Cordero, just shy of the third base dugout. One away.
The second baseman, number 13,
Trevor Achenbach will stand in. He is 1 for 3. Last time up, he popped out to the second baseman, Gary Mattis. Runner goes, pitch high, the throw down from Gangwish, skips into center field. Gordon, the defensive replacement, is there, but the good base running of Dunston Jr., he advances to third. And that is a very big insurance run that the Otters do not want to allow to score. Gordon replacing Pujols in the lineup. McNamee moves over to right. Infield comes in, and here is a fly ball hit deep out to left center field. Penner will watch it sail out of here. A 2-run blast for Trevor Achenbach. Home runs in back-to-back ball games for him. It's now a 3-0 game in the bottom of the 8th. I'm starting to think we should have stayed off the air, don't you? Isaac Bernard is 0 for 3. Three-year veteran of the Frontier League. First pitch above the letters. 91-mile-per-hour fastball from Spring. One and 0. Fastball above the knees. Ow. They're moving some tables down below. I gotcha. Sounded like a jackhammer, didn't it? 1-1. The left-handed DH goes down to a knee to offer at the 82-mile-per-hour off-speed pitch in the turf. 1-2. For all of our sakes, let me go ahead and pop that crowd noise down a little bit. Okay, maybe a lot of bit. 1-2. Breaking ball misses in. Could hang out the window like Bob Uecker in Major League. Now listen to these Tribe fans roar. Yeah, I'm going to do that. After the home run, listen to these Crushers fans go crazy. Two misses outside. And listen to them all clap their hands. Having a little fun. Sunday afternoon. Here comes the payoff pitch. Fouls it up and over. Back and out of play. Oh, they didn't do the third one. What are they up to over there? Here comes the 3-2 again. And Bernard fouls it off to the left and out of play again. Isaac Bernard played for the Traverse City Beach Bums back in 2018 and the Florence Freedom in 2019. 3-2. Once more. That's what, 4 or 5 foul balls in a row? 3 foul balls in a row? Foul balls in a row? Let's go. What do you think would be the one-syllable shortening of crushers? Let's go crush. Grape smashers. Try to do some research on that, the Lake Erie Crushers. They got their name in a fan vote when they first came into the league. The 3-2 change misses outside. It's a one-out walk to Bernard. But other than that, of the Avon, Ohio region, couldn't put together any other info on why they're a bunch of grapes. Didn't know this area to be big on vineyards. Stephen Kraft, by the way, is pinch running for Isaac Bernard. Brody Wooford is 0 for 3. Wooford facing spring. First pitch. Misses outside. Looks like they're barking up the wrong tree on Wooford by starting him off with the off-speed pitch. Chick. Kraft off of first. He goes, the 1-0. Pitch outside. The throw down is wide, and backing it up, Gary Mattis. Stops it from sailing into center. Stolen base for Stephen Kraft. Second of the inning overall for the Lake Erie Crushers. Spring set at the belt, the 1-1. Wave and a miss. Foul tipped into the catcher, Michael Gangwish's mitts, his home plate umpire Todd Odell. Spring peers down. The Wiggins, Mississippi native has his sign. Here comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss at a fastball. Down on strikes goes Wooford. I guess his bark was worse than its bite. Whoa. Will you help me out for this one? All right, we're going to fold up the piece of paper. A dog day afternoon. First pitch misses low and away, and the breaking ball. Wild and wacky stuff. Huh. It's a dog day afternoon. A dog day afternoon. Ah, dog day afternoon. Huh. May a baseball roll under your foot. May you twist your ankle. Huh. 1-0. Misses above the letters. 2 balls and no strikes. On Brian De La Rosa. Ready? It didn't open. Let me try it again. It's been hermetically sealed. What do you call going 0 for 4 the strikeout on Brody Wooford? Huh. Dog day afternoon. Huh. Fly ball to left. Andrew Penner is there. For the final out of the inning. But the Lake Erie Crushers get a couple on a 2-run home run by Trevor Achenbach. The Otters will try to repeat 9th inning heroics in back-to-back days. 3-0's the score. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live. Welcome back. Top of the ninth inning from Mercy Health Stadium in Avon, Ohio. Otters down by 3. 3-0's the score last night. They found themselves down by 6, and they managed to win it. Wonder how much magic is left in the bats. See if they can eke out a little bit more. Michael Gangwish, Christopher Pujols, and Andrew Penner all scheduled to bat 7, 8, 9 here in the top of the ninth inning. Last chance for them. And on looking for some redemption is J.T. Perez, who was hung with the loss last night. Came on with the bases loaded. His club still up by 4, and watched that lead disappear and turn into a 3-run deficit. First pitch to Gangwish, misses low and away. Michael Gangwish, the Otters catcher. A couple of fly balls to left today. Wind blowing strongly out toward left. Otters just got to think about base runners. By the way, it looks like Dakota Phillips is in the on-deck circle. 1-0, misses low and away. As did pitch numero uno. Hey there, Indians fans. Here in Cleveland, want to remind you, anybody who was actually alive the last time the Indians won the pennant gets free admission. Here's the 2-0, misses low and away. 3 balls and no strikes. J.T. Perez, looking for better fortunes. Not my best. Got a little too cocky after the Johnny. It happens. 3-0. Michael Gangwish takes ball 4 outside. And he had actually gone with his right foot to start swiping at the turf in the left-handed batter's box as if he thought that was going to be a strike called, but he will head to first. The Otters have a leadoff base runner aboard. Yesterday, the Otters came into the ninth inning with a 0.2% chance of winning the game, according to the last 117 years of Major League Baseball games compiled by the Win Expectancy Index. That's right. If you looked at all Major League games of how many ball clubs went into the ninth inning down by 6 runs, with nobody out, nobody on. First pitch to Dakota Phillips is a called strike, 0-1. Otters had a 0.2% chance of winning. In all of the games played in Major League history, if you're looking for a comparison, only 59 clubs have won a game going into the ninth inning with a point, or not even going into the ninth inning, when they were down to 0.2% chance of winning. As the 0-1 is fouled back, which is basically saying over 99 times out of 100, the team will win. 998 times out of 1,000, they would win. That record sheet that Baseball Reference also uses says the greatest comeback of all time came on June 29th, 1952, when the Chicago Cubs came back from an 8-2 deficit as the 0-2 breaking pitch misses outside. Good take by Dakota Phillips, pinch hitting for Christopher Pujols. With 2 out and nobody on in the top of the ninth, they scored 7 runs to beat the Cincinnati Reds 9-8. The most recent occurrence of a 6-run rally feat came back on May 28, 2016. Chicago White Sox at the Kansas City Royals. Here's the 1-2. Sails outside. Now the count even on Phillips. 2-2. Talking about 59 games in Major League Baseball history where a club fell to a 0.2% chance of winning the game and rallied to do so. One of those ball games we're going to have to ask if an Otters personnel remembers is the 2-2 fouled up and over the netting. Phillips right on the pitch. Boots Day was a part of the 1974 Montreal Expos, who completed a comeback in which they only had a 0.14% chance of beating the Atlanta Braves at home in Montreal back on June 6th, 1974. when they were trailing by 4 runs in the bottom of the ninth with nobody on and 2 out. Well, the Otters are down here by 3. 1 man on, nobody out. Here comes the 2-2. Phillips, he's battling. He fouls it back to the netting once more. Boots Day had a pinch hit appearance and had a sacrifice fly, driving in a run against Phil Niekro. The Braves knuckler, of course, it was Ryan Fearabend, the knuckleballer who started it today for the Lake Erie Crushers. Give you a recap of how that 9th inning went for the 1974 Montreal Expos, of which Boots Day was a player and also had an RBI in that game. Another 2-2. And here's a slow roller to first. No choice but to take it to the bag. Does Zach Gray. Michael Gangwish advances to second, 1 down in the top of the 9th. Made JT Perez work a little bit. Here's Andrew Penner. Had a 2-run single in the 9th inning last night. That made it a 10-6 game. Here comes the first pitch to Penner in the turf and blocked. Well, that bottom of the 9th inning, the Expos began down 6-2. Down 6-2. And the Braves' Danny Frizella was pitching, facing the 2, 3, and 4 batters, Larry Lintz, Willie Davis, and Ken Singleton. Well, Larry Lintz and Willie Davis went down on a ground out and a pop out to second, leaving the Expos with their last out. Here's the 1-0. There's a called strike on the outside part of the plate, the 88-mile-per-hour fastball from Perez. Ken Singleton drew a walk. Ron Fairley behind him, the number 5 man in the order, singled to right. That put runners at the corners with 2 down. Perez set. And the 1-1 fastball is low. Perez wanted it, but doesn't get it. Off speed, misses away, and Penner is ahead in the count, 3-1. A ball away from bringing the tying run to the plate. Perez set. Here comes the 3-1. There's a strike called at the knees. Almost had to take there. Gary Mattis, by the way, is on deck. Otters down by 3 with 1 out in the top of the 9th inning. Runner at second. Tying run on deck. And Penner is punched out on a fastball that he certainly thought missed inside, and he gives it to Todd Odell, who just chucked him. And Andy McCauley's going to have a conversation with Odell. Now the Otters are down to their final out. McCauley will go to his scorecard. To at least officially replace Penner with someone. Well, anyway, back to that Montreal Expos game. Ron Fairley had singled, putting runners in the corners. And the first run came home to score the 9th inning when Mike Jorgensen singled to center field. It brought Kenny Singleton home and sent Ron Fairley to second. So then there were runners at first and second before Bob Stinson would pinch hit for Tim Foley. And Bob Stinson, in the pinch hit at bat, hit a 3-run home run that tied the game. Braves Expos matchup would go to the 10th, and Kenny Singleton would drive home the winning run with a walk-off base hit to center field that scored Bob Bailey, who led off the inning with a single of his own to center. That was, according to Baseball Reference, the greatest big league comeback that Otters first base coach Boots Day was a part of. Now, they say that win percentage-wise, that was more impressive than the Otters feat a night ago, but I don't know. I don't know if I agree. And I bet you Boots Day wouldn't either. First pitch to Gary Mattis. Misses outside following the delay. .87-mile-per-hour pitch. Likewise, misses away 2-0. Otters first base coach Boots Day, his at-bat came in the bottom of the 6th inning. With runners at the corners, he pinch hit for Barry Foote. With his club down a run, and he tied it with that sac fly. 2-0. That misses in tight. Now Gary Mattis, a pitch away from bringing Elijah McNamee to the plate as the tying run with 2 out in the top of the 9th. .3-0, and that misses outside. Gary Mattis draws the walk. 2 walks in the inning off Perez, and here comes Elijah Big Hit McNamee. McNamee is 0 for 3. He was on base twice last night, but he was, I believe, 0 for 2 that night. So, 0 for 3 last night. Now listen, I just want to let you know, I'm only bringing this up, trying to look for a little bit of hidden vigorish. So McNamee 0 for his last 6. Runners at first and second. He's the tying run. First pitch right on it. Fouls it back to the netting. Otters have Taylor Wright warming in the bullpen. Gangwish off of second, Mattis off first. Otters down to their final out, though they've got the tying run at the plate. 0-1 from Perez. That misses, low and away. 1-1. Perez, the stingy left-handed reliever, has his sign, the 1-1. Lifted right side out of play, and now the Otters are down to their final strike this afternoon. McNamee in a 1-2 hole. Gangwish at second, Mattis at first. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses out. Now 2-2. Perez set. Kicks and deals. McNamee stays alive, fouling it off. Otters, if they can't pull it out, still have salvaged a 500 road trip and will return home to face Southern Illinois Miners Tuesday. Perez steps off. Shrugs his shoulders. Cocks his shoulders again. Here comes another 2-2. Grounded foul, first base line. McNamee, of course, while Mississippi State had the big walk-off home run en route to the appearance in Omaha. Another 2-2. McNamee continues to fight off pitch after pitch from JT Perez as he fouls this one away. McNamee was hit by a pitch to load the bases in front of J.R. Davis in the ninth inning last night on a 3-2 pitch. Here's the 2-2. And it's hit out toward right, and it's going to hang up for Brody Wooford. And the Lake Erie Crushers hang on, though the Otters are able to bring the tying run to the plate. They are shut out and held to just one hit this afternoon. Lake Erie Crushers, they win it by a score of 3-0. As JT Perez nails down the save, and Ryan Fearabend, the former major leaguer, who was flat out brilliant, edges out his mound opponent Ryan O'Reilly, picking up the win. The Otters, they will be looking to pick things back up after an off day tomorrow at 6:35 Central against the Southern Illinois Miners. They open a 6-game homestand against the Miners, and then the Crushers will visit Fosse Field as these two clubs meet for the second time 1 week after another. Second time in the month of August, that is. Big blows. RBI double for Zach Gray. That was a pop-up in shallow left, just beyond the infield, and then the backbreaker. The 2-run home run in the bottom of the 8th that served as the deal-breaking insurance for Trevor Achenbach, his second home run in back-to-back games. The Otters, overall, able to take the series from the Lake Erie Crushers, winning 2 of 3 as Lake Erie avoids the sweep. With a 3-0 victory in the getaway game, as the Otters will be heading back to Evansville after this one. My name is Ryan Brown. I want to thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon. I want to apologize once more for the technical difficulties, and just say, as this is going to be my last game over YouTube Live, we'll be back home through the homestand on Frontier League Live TV, but if this is the only way you've been able to following live Otters action this year, thank you so much for joining me. It's been an absolute blast on the road. Very special Otters club. You and I know that. But thank you for welcoming me in to share the last few months of this summer in with you. Certainly, magical doesn't even begin to cover it. We'll be back on the air Tuesday on Frontier League Live TV, 6:20 the pregame show, 6:35 first pitch. Once more, my name is Ryan Brown. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you can't be tuning in then, let's make sure we chat again soon.